On my birthday, my boyfriend Gavin stood me up for his female bro. On the phone, his tone was very impatient. Yara just went through a breakup and is in a bad mood, I have to stay with her. We're just friends, you know that. Anna, can you be more understanding? I looked at the table full of dishes I had made by hand, now cold, and hung up the phone. I didn't cry or make a fuss. I just calmly dialed another number. Hello, Lucas, I think I've been dumped. On the other end, the lazy voice of New York Crown Prince Lucas instantly tensed up. Who? Where? Wait there, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Half an hour later, a globally limited edition Bugatti stopped downstairs in my rundown neighborhood. Lucas got out, strode over with his long legs, took off his custom suit jacket to wrap around me, and pulled me into his embrace scented with cool pine. In front of me, he called Gavin back and put it on speaker. His voice was arrogant and contemptuous. Gavin, how dare you bully my sister? From today on, she's mine. Oh, forgot to tell you, we're just pure friends, don't overthink it. Lucas. How are you with Anna? On the other end, Gavin was completely stunned, his voice stuttering. Lucas sneered. Do I need to report to you that I'm with my sister? He tightened his arms, pulling me deeper into his embrace. Aren't you supposed to be with your Yara? Go ahead and accompany her well, don't get distracted. Anna's got me here. With that, he hung up directly, not giving Gavin a chance to say a word. He looked down at me, the arrogance in his eyes instantly turning to heartache. Why are your hands so cold? I didn't speak, just looked at him. It had been 7 years. I had been with Gavin for 7 years. From university to work, I had accompanied him in eating the cheapest cafeteria meals and living in rented rooms without heating. I thought we would get married. Today was my 28th birthday. I spent the whole day making his favorite sweet and sour pork ribs, cola chicken wings, and seafood soup. In the end, I only got a call from him canceling our date. The reason was still Yara. That female bro of his who always came before me. Get in the car. Lucas's voice interrupted my thoughts. He opened the passenger door, protected my head with his hand, and tucked me in. Taking you to a nice place. The limited edition sports car's engine roared as it sped away, leaving the rundown neighborhood far behind. The car stopped at a private club on the mountaintop. The manager was already waiting respectfully at the door. Pushing open the door, under the huge crystal chandelier was a grand birthday party. Champagne towers, seas of roses, and my favorite band playing. Lucas's friends came over, piling gifts in front of me. Anna, happy birthday. Sister-in-law, happy birthday. Brother Lucas has been talking about you for so long. Lucas kicked the leg of the brother who called me sister-in-law, laughing and cursing. Don't talk nonsense, Anna and I are just pure friends. Everyone immediately joined in knowingly. Yes, yes, pure friendship. We all understand, long live pure friendship. They made me laugh. This was the first time I laughed after the breakup. Lucas brought me a cup of hot milk and asked softly, feeling better? I nodded. He ruffled my hair, the action natural and indulgent. Good. I took out my phone and snapped a photo of the scene in front of me. I didn't deliberately include Lucas, just the beautiful cake and champagne tower, with the lively crowd in the background. Caption, New Year, love myself more. Then, I set it visible only to Gavin. After doing all that, I set my phone to silent and threw it into my bag. Tonight, I didn't want to be disturbed by anyone. After the party ended, Lucas drove me home. He didn't drive the flashy sports car again, switching to a low-key black Bentley. The car stopped downstairs. He didn't rush me to get out. Really decided? He asked. Yes. 7 years, don't you feel it's a pity? I shook my head, looking at the dim yellow streetlights outside the window. Not a pity, but fortunate. Fortunate that I finally woke up from a self-deluding scam. Lucas didn't say more, just took a velvet box from the back seat. Birthday gift. I opened it. It was a diamond bracelet with a small letter A pendant in the middle. It was the initial of my name. Too valuable. I instinctively wanted to refuse. But Lucas directly grabbed my hand and put it on for me himself. Not expensive. When I give something to my sister, I only care if she likes it, not the price. His fingertips were warm and accidentally touched my wrist. I flinched. He paused, then casually fastened the bracelet. Looks good. I got home and opened my phone. Dozens of missed calls, hundreds of Facebook messages, all from Gavin. Anna, where are you? Where is that in the photo? Who are you with? Why is Lucas celebrating your birthday? When did you two get so close? Have you been cheating on me with him all along? The questioning tone grew harsher with each one. I flipped through them expressionlessly, not replying to any. A few minutes later, his call came in again. I hesitated, then answered. Anna. You've grown bold, huh? Daring to ignore my calls? Gavin's roar came through the receiver. I held the phone farther away. What's up? What's going on with you and Lucas? Explain it to me. Explain what? I chuckled lightly. Gavin, we've broken up. When did I say we broke up? The moment you stood me up for Yara, we were over. The other end went silent. A few seconds later, his voice softened, with a hint of undetectable panic. Anna, I was wrong, I shouldn't have yelled at you. Yara just had a breakup, got drunk, I couldn't leave. It wasn't on purpose. You and Lucas, you're just friends, right? The same old lines again. It made me want to vomit. I hung up directly and blocked him. The world became quiet. The next day, my Instagram style changed abruptly. Lucas said I just had a breakup and needed to relax. So, he pushed aside all work to accompany me exclusively. Day 1, experience a private jet. The photo showed me in the cockpit, wearing pilot sunglasses, next to Lucas in a captain's uniform, looking outrageously handsome. Day 2, yacht out to sea, anglers never go empty-handed. The photo showed me holding a big fish just caught, smiling brightly. In the background was the azure sea and Lucas handing me water. Day 3, he said this sea of flowers suits me. The photo was of Provence's lavender fields, with Lucas on one knee, taking the most beautiful photo of me. For each photo, I deliberately made them visible to Gavin and all our mutual friends. Gavin went crazy as expected. He changed countless numbers to call me, I didn't answer any. He started sending texts. Anna, you and Lucas are not from the same world, he's just playing with you, don't be silly. That kind of young master has countless women around him, you can't compete with them. Come back, okay? I've cleared things up with Yara, from now on, I'll only be good to you. Looking at these texts, I just found them laughable. What made him think that without him, I couldn't survive? What made him think the next man I meet would definitely be inferior to him? That day, Lucas and I were dining at a Michelin restaurant. He cut the steak and naturally swapped the plate in front of me. Gavin sent you messages again? Yes. Blocking doesn't work, for someone like him, he won't give up until you stomp him into the mud. Lucas wiped his hands with a napkin, his tone calm. I didn't speak, quietly eating the steak. His phone rang, it was Gavin calling from an unknown number. Lucas glanced at it, curled his lips, answered, and put it on speaker. Who is this? Lucas. Give Anna back to me. Gavin's voice was hoarse. Yours? Lucas raised an eyebrow, glanced at me, when did Anna become yours? How come I don't know? We've been together for 7 years. She's my girlfriend. Oh, ex-girlfriend. Lucas corrected him leisurely, now, she's my sister. He deliberately emphasized the word sister. I warn you, stay away from her. You're not worthy of her. Gavin was furious on the other end. Lucas laughed. Whether I'm worthy or not isn't for you to decide. Instead of yelling at me here, why not care more about your female bro? I heard she's recently taken a fancy to the new intern at your company. The other end instantly went silent. Lucas was right. Yara soon had a new target. It was a rich second-generation intern new to their company. She started frequently posting on Instagram the gifts from that guy and driving his car for outings. The same trick she used to entangle Gavin back then. Gavin finally saw Yara's true face. He confronted her, they had a big fight, and parted on bad terms. He probably thought that by removing Yara this obstacle, I would return to him. He started entangling me more crazily. He ran to my company downstairs to block me. Anna, I've completely cut ties with Yara, from now on, it's only you. He held a wilted bunch of roses, looking haggard and destitute. I bypassed him, preparing to get in the car. Lucas's car was parked not far away. Gavin rushed up, grabbing my wrist tightly. Why won't you give me a chance? Our 7 years of relationship, you say no and it's no? Let go. My voice was cold. I won't. Anna, come back with me, let's start over. His grip was strong, pinching my wrist painfully. At that moment, the car door opened. Lucas strode over, swatted away Gavin's hand, and protected me behind him. His face was terrifyingly grim. Can't understand human language? Gavin's eyes turned red upon seeing him. Lucas. This is between Anna and me, what right do you have to interfere? What right? Lucas sneered, just because she doesn't want to see you now. He took out a handkerchief from his pocket and carefully wiped my wrist where Gavin had touched, as if cleaning something dirty. The action was full of humiliation. Gavin's face instantly turned liver-colored. Anna, is this how you trample on me? Finding such a man to humiliate me? I looked at his twisted face and suddenly found it meaningless. Gavin, between us, it's long been settled. It's you who insist on coming up to embarrass yourself. With that, I pulled Lucas and turned to get in the car. Gavin shouted unwillingly from behind. Anna. You'll regret it. Lucas isn't sincere at all. The car window slowly rose, blocking all his sounds. I leaned back in the seat, closing my eyes somewhat wearily. Lucas handed me a bottle of water. Don't get angry over someone like that, not worth it. I know. Sotheby's has an autumn auction tomorrow, want to go? He changed the topic. Go for what? I remember you fancied a painting by someone called Monet. I was stunned. That was a long time ago, when I was still in university, casually mentioned while visiting an art gallery. I said I really liked Monet's water lilies, and when I have money in the future, I'd definitely buy one to hang at home. I thought he had long forgotten. At the Sotheby's autumn auction site, celebrities gathered. Wearing the gown Lucas prepared for me, sitting beside him, it felt like a dream. That water lilies was the finale item tonight. Starting bid, 80 million. I gasped, whispering to Lucas, forget it, too expensive. Lucas pinched my hand, signaling me to relax. The bidding started, prices climbing. When it reached 100 million, few people in the room were still bidding. Just as the auctioneer was about to hammer down, Lucas raised his paddle. 150 million. The room erupted. Everyone looked our way. Ultimately, the painting was won by Lucas for 150 million. Applause thundered. But I was nervous, palms sweating. Are you crazy? I lowered my voice. Not crazy. He turned his head, smiling at me, 1,000 gold can't buy my sister's happiness. After the auction ended, we became the focus of the entire room. Countless people came up to chat with Lucas, but their eyes subtly fell on me, guessing my identity. Lucas protected me by his side, handling them one by one. At that moment, an uninvited guest appeared. It was Yara. She was arm in arm with a slick young man, exactly that rich second generation from their company. Seeing me, a flash of jealousy in her eyes, then she put on a righteous expression. Anna, you've gone too far. As soon as she spoke, she attracted everyone's attention around. How can you retaliate against Why this way? He has you in his heart. Do you know how sad he is for you? I hadn't spoken yet when Lucas laughed first. Miss, who are you? Yara was choked. What are you to Gavin? Girlfriend? Fiancé? Neither? Then in what capacity are you accusing my person? With each question from Lucas, Yara's face paled further. I looked at her and finally spoke. Retaliate? I'm just learning from you. Didn't you say you and Gavin are pure friends? Lucas and I are too. I shook the valuable diamond bracelet on my wrist. How come your friendship can make him buy you bags and lipsticks, but mine can't make him bid on a painting for me? Or is your friendship noble, and mine ulterior? Yara was blocked speechless, her face flushed red. I leaned close to her, saying in a voice only we could hear. Also, stop calling him a why. It disgusts him, and it disgusts me. Mind yourself, don't get beaten as a mistress one day and have your good brother clean up for you. Yara's body trembled, looking at me in horror. How did I know that she had interfered in someone else's relationship before, and the original partner came to her door? It was Gavin crying and begging me to help settle it. I was so pitifully foolish back then. After that night, Yara completely quieted down. She was probably afraid I'd expose all her past messes. And the news of Lucas and me winning the sky-high priced painting spread in the circles. The next day, I took the painting to my parents' home. My parents are ordinary salary workers, never seen so much money in their lives, scared almost throwing the painting. Anna, this is too valuable. Return it to little Lou quickly. My mom pulled me saying. Mom, this is his birthday gift to me. Even a birthday gift can't be this expensive. Over 100 million. My dad was calmer, he carefully stored the painting, then pulled me aside. Anna, tell Dad the truth, what exactly is your relationship with little Lou? Friends. Just friends? My dad didn't believe it. Dad, I don't want to talk about relationships now. My dad sighed, not pressing further. Think it through yourself. That kid Gavin, no more contact with him. Our family doesn't welcome him. My dad's words warmed my heart. Just then, the doorbell rang. My mom went to open it. Standing at the door was surprisingly Gavin. He looked even more destitute than last time, unshaven, sunken eyes. Seeing me, his eyes lit up, wanting to rush in. Anna. My dad directly blocked the door, face ashen. What are you doing here? You're not welcome. Uncle, I'm looking for Anna, I need to explain to her. Gavin said urgently. Nothing to explain. My dad was unceremonious, my daughter was blind for 7 years, now her eyes are open, don't come pollute her world again. Get out. With that, my dad slammed the door shut with a bang. Gavin knocked frantically outside, calling my name. My mom was furious. What bad luck. How did he find here? I looked at the tightly closed door, my heart without ripples. That door was like my heart door, completely close to him. That night, I told Lucas about it as a joke. He was silent for a moment on the phone. Uncle did right. Tomorrow, he won't have a chance to bother you again. The next day, I received a call from a former colleague. On the phone, the former colleague's tone was full of shock and gossip. Anna, guess what? Gavin was fired by the company. Why? Heard he offended some big shot, the project he was in charge of, the investor suddenly withdrew, company suffered heavy losses, boss fired him in anger. I instantly understood. It was Lucas. He also went to find Yara, but Yara ignored him, telling him in front of the whole company not to entangle her anymore. Now the whole company is laughing at him. Serves him right. Before, relying on being project manager, he bullied us a lot. Now, betrayed by all, nothing left. Hung up the phone, I looked at the blue sky outside. Turns out, without doing it yourself, watching your enemy step by step to destruction is such a satisfying thing. After Gavin was fired, he completely lost his income source. His rented house expired, landlord kicked him out. He wanted to go back home but didn't even have money for a ticket. He started calling our former mutual friends to borrow money. But everyone saw his true character, and due to my relationship with Lucas, no one dared lend him. He was desperate and came to find me again. That night, I was with Lucas and friends at a bar gathering. When coming out, I saw Gavin squatting in the corner by the bar door. Seeing me, he rushed over like seeing a lifesaver. Anna. Lucas's friends immediately protected me behind them, blocking him. What do you want? Gavin ignored them, eyes fixed on me. Anna, lend me some money, okay? I just need 500, no, 300 is enough. I'll buy a ticket and leave, never bother you again. He was wearing a stained old t-shirt, greasy hair, emitting a sour stench. Completely different from the spirited male god in university campus in my memory. This is what he meant by living better without me? I took out a few $100 bills from my wallet, handed them to one of Lucas's friends. Give it to him, let him go. The friend took the money and threw it at Gavin's feet. Take the money and get lost. Gavin bent down embarrassedly to pick it up, money scattered, he picked them one by one, fingers trembling. After picking up the money, he raised his head, red eyes staring at me. Anna, are you very smug now? Seeing me so down and out, are you happy? I looked at him and suddenly laughed. Happy? Smug? Gavin, you think too highly of yourself. To me, you're just a rotten tooth in my life that needed to be removed. Now, tooth pulled, lesion cleared, I just feel relieved. As for whether you live well or not, live or die, it's none of my concern. My words, like a knife, completely shattered his last bit of dignity. He staggered back a few steps, his eyes from unwillingness to resentment, finally turning to dead silence. He took the few $100 and walked away dejectedly. Looking at his back, I had no sympathy at all. Pitiful people must have hateful aspects. Everything today is his own doing. Lucas came over, took off his jacket and draped it over me. Let's go, take you home. On the way back, the car was quiet. Near home, Lucas suddenly spoke. Free tomorrow? Something? Accompany me home to see my grandpa. On the way to Lucas's family old mansion, I was so nervous my hands shook. That was the Lucas family, true top-tier tycoon. Don't be nervous. Lucas held my hand, his palm dry and warm. My grandpa is very nice, he's wanted to meet you for a long time. Meet me for what? To praise you. Lucas smiled like a cat that got the cream, praise you for helping him control this troublemaker me. Lucas's old mansion was a huge Chinese-style courtyard, ancient and majestic. Anna's grandpa sat under the grape arbor in the courtyard drinking tea, looking kinder than imagined. Seeing me, he immediately smiled. You're Anna, right? Come over, let Grandpa see. I walked over restrainedly, called, Hello Grandpa. Ah, good, good. The old man held my hand, looking me up and down, even better looking than in the photos. Photos? I looked at Lucas puzzled. Lucas coughed lightly, eyes evasive. This stinky kid saved all your Instagram photos, shows them to me every day, bragging about what a great sister he has. The old man mercilessly exposed him. My face instantly reddened. Lucas's ears also reddened. Grandpa. He rarely showed embarrassment. The old man laughed heartily. After lunch at Lucas's home, Lucas took me to his room. His room was large, decorated in simple black-white-gray tones, very fitting his style. But the room was full of my traces everywhere. On the bookshelf, our university group photo. On the bedside table, the first birthday gift I gave him, an ugly handmade mug. On the wall, hung a sketch of me. The me in the drawing smiled carefree, still the university look. Bottom right of the painting, a signature, LZ. Lucas. My heart uncontrollably pounded. You. I drew it in university. Lucas hugged me from behind, chin on my shoulder. His voice had a hint of undetectable tension. Anna, I've liked you for a long time. From freshman year when you wore a white dress, speaking as freshman representative at the opening ceremony, I liked you. But I was too much of a jerk then, afraid I couldn't give you the stability you wanted, so I didn't dare say. Later, you got together with Gavin. I could only stay by your side as a male best friend. Watching you cry for him, laugh for him, I was jealous to madness. Anna, I don't want to be your male best friend anymore. He turned my body to face him. His eyes were serious and focused. Are you willing to give me a chance to be your boyfriend? My tears instantly fell. Turns out, I wasn't performing a solo act alone. Turns out, those unclear feelings of mine all had responses. I tiptoed and kissed his lips. I am willing. The news of me and Lucas being together quickly spread across Instagram. Our mutual friends sent blessings one after another. Congratulations. Brother Lucas finally sees the moon after clouds. I said you were pure friends, purely the friendship that wants to sleep together. I brought the Civil Affairs Bureau, please marry on the spot. Looking at these comments, I laughed uncontrollably. Lucas hugged me from behind, grabbed my phone, replied to the friend shouting about the Civil Affairs Bureau. Lucas, soon. My cheeks burned, I punched him lightly. Don't mess around. But he grabbed my hand, kissed it on the lips. I'm not messing, I'm serious. Anna, let's get married. He didn't prepare a grand proposal ceremony, nor a pigeon egg-sized diamond ring. Just on an ordinary afternoon, with the plainest tone, said the most touching words. My heart was filled to the brim. Okay. We soon met both parents. My parents were extremely satisfied with Lucas as son-in-law, pulling him to chat warmly, even warmer than to me their biological daughter. Anna's grandpa was even happier, immediately gifting me a villa as meeting gift, and said to transfer 10% of Lu Group shares to my name. I waved my hands in fright. But Lucas held me down. What grandpa gives, you accept. In the future, everything in Lucas's family is yours. My life seemed to press fast forward. The happiness I once thought unattainable came so easily. Sometimes, I even felt it unreal. Lucas seemed to see my unease. He held me in his arms, softly said, Anna, you don't need to feel indebted, nor think it's your luck. All this is what you deserve. You're great, worthy of the best in the world. Yes. I'm great. It was Gavin who lacked vision, treating this pearl as fisheye. And Lucas, from the beginning, knew my value. And with all his might, held me in his palm. Our wedding was set for autumn. On the eve of the wedding, I received a multimedia message from an unknown number. It was a photo. Gavin lying on the hospital bed, face pale as gold paper, body full of tubes. Below was a line, he has stomach cancer, late stage, wants to see you one last time before death. The sender was Gavin's mother. I handed the phone to Lucas. After seeing, Lucas's face darkened. Want to go? He asked me. I shook my head. No. He and I long settled. Whether he lives or dies now is none of my concern. I don't want before the wedding to see an irrelevant person get bad luck. Lucas ruffled my hair. Okay, as you say. He took my phone, directly replied, sorry, she's busy. Busy trying wedding dress, preparing to marry me. Then, completely blocked that number. A few days later, I heard of Gavin's death. It was 1 midnight, he jumped from the hospital window, ending his young life. I didn't attend his funeral. I only saw on Instagram a post from Yara. Rest in peace, my good brother. Next life, don't be so silly. The photo was a black and white of her and Gavin. Below, a bunch of likes and comments, all lamenting Gavin's untimely death. Looking at that post, I just felt ironic. If she really treated Gavin as a good brother, she wouldn't have ignored him when he was betrayed by all. Now the person is dead, she comes out playing the deep affection role. Really disgusting. I turned off the phone, not wanting to see these upsetting things. Lucas came over, hugged me from behind. Thinking what? Nothing. Anna, let past things pass. You just look at me. He turned my body, deeply kissed me. Yes. Everything past should turn the page. My life has entered a brand new chapter. And the protagonists of this chapter are only me and Lucas. Our wedding was held on an island. Sunshine, beach, blue sea, and sky. Wearing a pure white wedding dress, arm in arm with my dad, step by step towards Lucas standing at the end of the flower path. He wore a white suit, more handsome than any time I've seen. Looking at me, his eyes seemed full of stars. My dad handed my hand to him, solemnly said, "Kid, I'm giving my precious daughter to you. If you dare bully her in the future, I won't let you off." Dad, rest assured. Lucas tightly held my hand, solemnly promised. I won't. I'll only use my life to love her, protect her, make her the happiest woman in the world. The moment of exchanging rings, watching him put that unique diamond ring on me, tears still uncontrollably fell. These weren't sad tears. They were happiness. Turns out, being firmly chosen feels like this. At the banquet after the wedding, I received countless blessings. My friends, Lucas's friends, and those celebrities who were once curious about my identity. Now, looking at me, their eyes only had envy and respect. Because I am Lucas's wife, the legitimate mistress of the Lucas family. Halfway through the banquet, a waiter hurried over, whispered a few words in Lucas's ear. Lucas's face changed slightly. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Nothing." He patted my hand soothingly, "A small trouble, I'll handle it and come back soon." After he left, I felt uneasy. I secretly followed. In the corridor outside the banquet hall, I saw Lucas. And Yara. She was held by two bodyguards, hair messy, makeup smudged, hysterically shouting at Lucas. "Lucas! What right do you have to treat me like this? I just wanted to attend the wedding, bless Anna. What right do you have not to let me in?" "Bless?" Lucas sneered, "Are you worthy? Not throwing you off the island directly today is already my greatest mercy. Yara, I warn you. Stay away from my wife in the future. If I see you appear before her again, I'll make you disappear from this world completely." His voice wasn't loud, but carried a chilling ruthlessness. Yara was scared pale, unable to say a word. The bodyguards dragged her away, soon disappearing at the corridor end. Lucas turned and saw me standing not far. He was stunned, then quickly walked towards me. "Why did you come out?" "I heard everything?" I nodded. He embraced me, sighed. "Scared you?" I shook my head, buried my face in his chest. "No. I just felt secure. Having such a man protecting me unconditionally is really good." Post-wedding life was sweet like in a honey pot. Lucas spoiled me into a complete good-for-nothing. I didn't need to work, slept till natural wake every day. Waking up to breakfast he made himself. Afternoons he accompanied me shopping, watching movies, or traveling worldwide. He said to compensate double for the grievances I suffered in the past 7 years. I soon got pregnant. Lucas was more nervous than me, wishing to tie me to him 24 hours. Anna's grandpa was even happier, couldn't stop smiling, hired over a dozen nannies and nutritionists, treating me like a national treasure. After 10 months pregnancy, I gave birth to a cute son. The little guy looked very like Lucas, especially those eyes, black and bright. Lucas completely became a son slave, holding the son every day, not letting go. "Wife, look, how much he looks like me. Wife, he smiled at me today. Wife, he seems to call Dad." Looking at his childish appearance, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The once arrogant New York crown prince now became a silly dad. And I, from a pitiful worm abandoned by ex-boyfriend, became a queen held in the palm by husband and family. I often think, if back then, I hadn't dialed Lucas's number on that desperate birthday night, what would I be now? Probably still heartbroken over Gavin's cold violence, still battling wits with Yara-like female bros, still struggling in self-doubt and denial. Fortunately, I didn't. I bravely took that step, then met my salvation. That day, Lucas and I took our son to the park for a walk. Coming towards us was a familiar yet strange figure. It was Gavin's mother. She looked much older than last meeting, temples white, eyes turbid. Seeing us, she was also stunned. Her gaze fell on the child in my arms, then looked at the handsome considerate Lucas by my side, eyes full of complex emotions. There was jealousy, unwillingness, and a hint of regret. We passed by each other. I didn't look back, nor greet her. To us, each other were just strangers. Sunshine sprinkled through leaf gaps, falling on us, warm. Lucas lowered his head to kiss my forehead. Thinking what? I shook my head, smiled. Thinking, today's weather is really good. Yes, the weather is really good. My world, all clear skies. As for the dust in those dark corners, long blown away by the wind. Turns out, defeating magic with magic is such a satisfying thing. And even more satisfying is having someone willing to create for you a brand new magic world of only light and love.